What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes are back with another one of our favorite fighters to interview in this past decade or so. Right, Rob? Is that how long we've been connected now? Or can
Yeah,
you say
it's
that
been a
your UFC
while.
career is almost about a decade old?
Yeah, 2014. Yeah, the first time.
Damn,
2014 in Vegas at the casino. Yeah, it's been a
that's
while.
that is a long time. Time flies, and you got another big fight ahead of you. It's taking place on the 13th of September. It's for Noche UFC in celebration of Mexican Independence Day, which is the 16th, if anybody's keeping track. But these guys are going to have a card out in San Antonio, and Rob is on it. Rob, you were going to be the co-main event against Raul Rosas Jr. That was quick. There was an announcement, and then boom, it's off. Now it's David Martinez, but you're still co-main event, right?
Yeah, yeah, still a co-main event. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened with Rosso, but obviously he fell out, and then took about like 2 days, and then Sean got back to us with David Martinez.
You were dead set on being on the card. Is it just because you already invested in the camp, or you
Yeah,
kind of wanted to be a part of it? I know there's Puerto Rican in your background, but maybe you just wanted to be a part of Noche. You tell
yeah, no,
us.
I think definitely invested into this camp. I've been in Austin for the last 5 weeks.
Oh,
Um, yeah, yeah. So it kind of happened on accident. I was in Tennessee for Calvin's Cater's last fight, and then I always wanted to check out Kingsway, and they just opened up their gym. So I reached out to my boy Christoph, and he made the introduction to Gary, Gordon, and John, and I came out here and trained. It was supposed to be for 2 weeks, and then we got called. Then I got a call from Tyson. They offered us Rosa in San Antonio, which is about an hour 15 away from Austin. So I was like, man, instead of going back home and then driving back up to Montreal, I might as well just stay out here. I'm fighting a grappler. There's a bunch of grapplers out here, obviously at Kingsway, so I just stayed out here.
who's been running your camp, or have you gotten Faraz Zahabi to come down at all?
So it's been Gary Tony's been a huge help. He's been kind of really making he's got a huge eye on me, or has his eye on me, and he's been helping out a lot. And then I've been going to a gym called Iron Forge. My boy RJ and the boxing coach Rich, they've been helping out a lot. So and then as much as possible, I've been going back and forth with Faraz. So it's not an ideal situation, but we're making it work.
Hmm. Tonan's quite a grappler. That would have been right down your alley in preparation for
Yeah,
Raul Rosas. This opponent's different. This one opponent likes to throw hands.
yeah.
He's going for the KO.
Yeah.
Did that in any way, I guess, impact your decision? Was it an automatic yes, or did you have to look at the style matchup just to see if there was this was something you were okay with taking?
Man, Tyson sent me a video the other day about how many times my opponent switched. I think altogether it was 9 opponents. And I think even on the local scene, I got used to just getting prepared for everything and not necessarily focus too much on what my opponent's gonna do. So it wasn't a big deal for me to like kind of switch up because I'm always boxing, I'm always grappling, and obviously I always wrestling as much as possible. So it wasn't that big of a switch up for me. If anything, that the fight became more straightforward. We know exactly what he wants to do. Um, I'm not saying he's not going to try to take me down, but he's definitely not going to try to take me down as much as Rosso would have tried. But I'm prepared for that as well. So yeah, no, it wasn't that big of a switch up for me as far as like my mindset of going into this fight, knowing that I'm prepared for everything. And it's obviously easy to say that, but I really buy into that because it's happened so many times that like, even my last opponent or my last fight, it happened. So it's like I'm just so used to it. It's kind of scary how used to it that I am, but um, obviously we it wasn't an automatic yes. I had to look at his footage. I had to like watch him come together as a team and try to figure out what was the best move. And I think we all collectively came together and said like, let's take this fight.
Rob Fon is our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. He's in the co-main event slot against David Martinez. This is for the Noche UFC card coming up on the 13th of September. Same day as Canelo, by the way, against Bud Crawford. That should be an excellent night of combat sports. And then the main event here on Noche, it's Diego Lopez against Jean Silva goes. What do you have for Rob Font?
Rob, I was just curious. The Rosas fight. Do you feel like that can maybe be rebooked? Like, is it something that interests you, or was it just good for
Yeah,
the moment
no,
where you
like
were at?
he called me out. I forgot when he, but he called me out. He obviously wanted to fight, and then when Dominic Cruz pulled out for the fight in Seattle, his name got thrown into the mix. It didn't happen. So I've been hearing his name for a while. Um, and I do like the matchup. I do like the matchup. I do like the hype that's going on behind this kid right now. He has a big buzz. He has a big following. So like it's still kind of an opportunity. Obviously, he's not ranked. He's not in the top. I believe maybe the top 15, but obviously he's not in the top 10. So it's like it's uh it's a fight that excites me. It's a fight that doesn't necessarily move me forward as far as like up the rankings. But it definitely interests me as much as possible. I mean, it definitely interests me. So I can see how hopefully he's not too injured and we can rebook this fight.
Why do these young cats keep coming at you? Aren't they learning their lesson? Like, you kind of have a little bit of a track record of smashing these young
Yeah,
cats.
man.
Like, it kind of surprised me when that name got thrown out again, because I was like, did you guys not see what he did to the other two? Like, do you find that weird?
No, I think I'm just in that spot right now where like I'm getting older, these guys are getting younger, and that definitely has to pop in their mind, like to take out the old head, but they got to learn quick, man. It's not that easy, and I'm only getting better, man, and I'm kind of really like really finding, how to really put together this grappling thing, and like I'm getting real comfortable, and so you got to catch me now if you want to, and but it is what it is, man. I mean, I really wanted that one too. I wanted to showcase my grappling skills and show how much I improved, and obviously working with Gary, and at that Gary was like the perfect sparring partner for this fight, and yeah, that just didn't happen.
Do you guys find it strange that UFC and boxing on the same day? However, even with Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, the best jab might actually be in the UFC when you fight. That's one hell of a
Oh,
weapon you got.
let's
It's
go.
really nice. You know how to use it. Can you talk about that being a weapon in your arsenal?
Yeah, like when I first started like fighting or even training, that's the only thing I could land. And I would almost like get upset about like, man, I'm not landing no hooks or no body shots, or I'm not landing my right hand, and the guys are like, bro, like, so what? Like, just keep throwing that jab. And even when I would like mess around and slap box with the like with my friends outside, I could only land my jab, and then once I kind of like got that out of my head that I was only landing my jab, and I started getting creative, and I started trying to throw as many different jabs as I possibly could, and then just switching the timing, and then it became real fun and became a thing of pride, and I try to like really pride myself on my jab. And once I did that, then I started landing my right hand. I started landing low kicks and obviously uppercuts and all that stuff. So yeah, and I think it just I don't know, man, it just came natural to me. And I didn't box growing up. I didn't, I wasn't in the boxing gym all the time, but it just made sense. It feels fluid, and it comes off effortless for me.
Hey, Rob, the first Noche card was 10 minutes from where we live at the Sphere. And, it's a lot different now, right? It's not in Vegas. It's not going to be in a Sphere, but it's still kind of got like a little bit of that edge, right? Like, I feel like maybe some fighters just want to be able to say, I've done a Noche card. It's like another
Yeah.
notch on that bucket list of being an MMA fighter. How do you feel about being on a Noche card? And even though it's not at the Sphere, is it still kind of cool, the attention that's going to come from it?
Yeah, 100%. I'm definitely excited. So definitely excited. Once they heard No Child, I was like, I'm in, hell yeah. And then find out the opponent. I was like, let's do it. Got the whole Mexico versus Puerto Rican thing going on, and it's in San Antonio. I've never been to San Antonio, so I'm excited about that as well. And yeah, and I'm actually fighting another Mexican kid as well. So this is going to be a great card. The last two have been awesome. The main event's awesome, so I'm excited. I can't wait to get to San Antonio.
Let's go back to the jab. Have you ever have you ever chatted about the jab with GSP, who also had a nice jab?
Not necessarily GSP, but Roy McDonald. I got to break down or talk to Roy a lot.
Hmm.
I asked more when I got to talk to George St. Pierre more about the wrestling, but when but definitely I definitely mimic. I'm trying to mimic the way he throws his up jab,
Hmm.
the way he was throwing it with Josh Koscheck. Faraz was giving me a lot of tips, a lot of drills on how he was doing it, what they did for that camp. But I really got to break down and talk to Roy McDonald on the jab with the jab defense, and then really break down the counters of everybody trying to like either go over or split the jab. And he gave me a bunch of cool tips on how to defend after you throw the jab.
Yeah, no, like Rory was awesome at it as well. So
Super loose.
you're
Yeah,
in
he was
good
super
hands
loose with
there.
it. Yeah, that's the first thing I asked him about it too. It was like, man, what are you thinking when you throw this jab? And the first thing he was thinking, obviously, it was like trying to come back as fast as possible, switching up the timing, switching up the pace with how you throw it, and then the positioning of the jab, and then obviously he gave me examples of what George told him, and then for us, and then just kind of like really stuck to me, and again, like, it was more like a another like way of thinking about how to throw this jab, and another way of falling in love with just throwing the jab.
You have a nickname, by the way?
I
I don't think I've
don't, you
ever.
know, yeah, I don't.
How about
Yeah, I never, I
Prospect
never, I
Killer?
never, I never got one. No one ever really gave me a nickname, and I and I think it was like, like there's a bunch of like Times New Roman numero type like jokes, but like I've never really got nothing ever stuck with me.
Bold Rob Font?
Hold on, I heard that one before. Yeah, no, I think it's one of those things. I think a nickname has to kind of like just happen, and
Yeah.
it was always I did kind of like I wasn't like all right when I started fighting like what's going to be my fighter name. I didn't have that in me. I don't know if I'm just shy or I couldn't come up with something creative, but no, I never had a nickname.
Prospect Killer, maybe. Like Ghost said,
Not
what
mad at that, man.
Matsumoto, Kyler.
Yeah,
I mean, none of these guys are like
Yanez.
18 or nothing like that, but Yanez and I remember Almeida was on a roll back in the day. Now we're
yeah,
going really back,
yeah.
but he started off like 20-0 or 21-0 or something like
It's
that. And
killing guys, man.
so along the
I
way,
remember that fight. I was a little nervous for that one because it was like, damn, it's Almeida. It's in Boston. This is gonna be a great one. I was a little nervous, and then once I got in there, like it was like the jab started landing, and like he leaned a little too far, and I just caught him with the right hand, and then it was on from there. But yeah, like it was like it's almost like the veterans I lose to with the young guys I keep kind of doing my thing with.
who's hit you with a good jab?
Aldo,
Although
man,
he had a nice
it was
jab.
a straight
His
1-2,
his
not a
hands come
party.
back fast. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah,
Everything he throws, he comes back fast too.
yeah, it
His
was like it
defense is really
was
nice.
accurate. It was fast. It was I literally felt like my face just broke the first jab toss he hit me with, and I was out landing him too, man. And then like the two punches he committed to was like the biggest punches I've ever taken in my life, and yeah, I felt like that's what a veteran feels like, man. Like it was quick to learn like okay, yeah, you're in there with the goat for real.
Mm, yeah. All right, man. Well, listen, that's quite a commitment that you've been already in Texas for so long, and you're primed and ready. And I know Martinez, I think, had other opponents too. So luckily, you guys are colliding, but you get paid, you get some work in, and that's great. It's going to be a fun night of
Yeah,
fights. Your guys, I think, go a little earlier in the day. I don't know if
yeah,
you've been told this, but I think you're going to go, let me see, Eastern time, probably around 7 or so or 6, and then it leads into the fight because Dana's involved with both cards in a way.
yeah, yeah.
But you'll be able to see Canelo and Crawford. I'm sure you'll have some interest in that too. Who
Who
won't,
you
right? It's gonna
who
be
you guys
massive.
going with that? Who you picking for that fight?
I think
Well, part
Crawford.
of us is Mexican as well, so but dude's bigger, bigger by a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
I'm gonna ride with Canelo on this one, but man, right
yeah,
now Crawford I think is the number one pound for pound fighter in the
yeah.
world, or the Japanese guy anyway too. He's no joke. Um, So I probably would just go with the Mexican guy,
Canelo.
because of those reasons. How about you?
I at first I was leaning towards Canelo, then I rewatched the Errol Spence fight, and I was like, Errol's a pretty big guy, and I figured like, man, like, and the way Spence handled that, it was just like, Crawford handled that fight. I was like, man, I don't know, I quickly switched my mind on that one, but I would say I want to say maybe the definitely bigger size, but I don't know if he has the power advantage, man. Like the way he was landing on Spence, and the way he, like, after he did get hit, and it wasn't much, and the way he fired back, it was like, it was impressive, and the way he's, obviously switching his stance, and like it looks like he wants to get into that type of fight. So I think I'm leaning towards Crawford on this one.
How about you, Goes?
I think I'm going Crawford as much as I'm probably gonna have to turn in my Noche card. I just think like his movement, his speed. He's Canelo hasn't really fought guys like this very much in his career, and when he has, he kind of ends up chasing guys, and he gets popped, then he chases, gets popped. I think Crawford could probably win an easy decision, but it's up to Canelo. If Canelo's just going to keep chasing him over and over, then it's probably going to be a long night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because he has that, like, and he switches stances often too, and he's defensively sound in both stances, so it's gonna be interesting, man. But it is September 13th, Noche, and just the Mexicans gonna be right behind him, so we'll see.
Yeah. Is Calvin coming to your fight?
Yeah, he's out here right now. He got here about 2 weeks ago.
Man, that's cool. You guys have been brothers for life in
Yeah,
this, at
yeah,
least in this sport.
yeah. It's been a
And for
while,
those that
man.
don't know, I think you guys were rivals in the Northeast scene. Um,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, you guys started training, and now you guys are like pretty damn good buddies that
yeah.
have each
That's my
other's back
guy,
like that.
man. Yeah, he'll be cornering me. He just he got out here like 2 weeks ago. He still is just foot's a little jacked up. He's not necessarily training too much. He's
Hmm.
still lifting, and obviously he's at each session, and but he'll be there. He'll be in the building as well.
We've known these guys so long. Now they stay quiet when we bring up football because they used to thump their chest a little bit when the Patriots were on a roll, but they sure have been quiet the last few years.
Yeah, you gotta chill. We gotta talk about the Celtics soon.
Quick pivot. I love it. All right, Rob, we'll let you go, man. Say hello to Calvin,
Of course,
and
definitely
best
will.
of luck with the rest of your camp, and
Thank
safe
you.
weight cut, and go out there and do your thing against
Thank
David
you, guys.
Martinez. Should be a good one.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on, guys.